let's check in on Scott Eyre and see what he's up to these days. The former Philly pitcher of the 2008 team, and I think he's down there in Bradenton, Florida now. Scott, it was good to see you yesterday down on. We were watching on TV, but it was good. Nice surprise to see you guys up there in Clearwater.
It's always fun to go back there. I think I was hoping to see more guys, but I thought it was going to be a bunch more people, but they said it was just Florida-based people. So it was nice to still see a couple people. I live right near Doobie, actually. It's hard to believe he doesn't have a big league job, by the way.
But, they were talking yesterday about how him and Charlie have really become even a lot closer since the team had kind of broken up, that those two guys are even closer than they were when they were actually coaching together.
I think I thought they were pretty close when they coached together, but I think they both did their own things. But yeah, I think from what I've heard, he says they hang out quite a bit. Maybe it's the wives. Who knows?
Well, Scott, you are down in Florida now. I guess you're doing you're coaching high school baseball and stuff. But you just said to see a couple of those guys. Do you believe it's been 10 years since that crew was together?
I was listening to the intro before I came on. Like you guys I was talking about it, and he said it's been 10 years. And every time someone says it, I think there's no way it's been 10 years already, right? I'm not that old. But yeah, I really can't. I'm very much looking forward to August to see I believe from what I've been told by our alumni lady Debbie Nacito, the best lady there is. I got to say that, by the way. Debbie told me she has basically the entire team coming back in August.
Nice.
So that's pretty awesome. It'll be fun to see some guys I haven't seen in a long time, and some of them I just played with for the August, September, and then that month and a half of playoffs that I was with. So, but it doesn't seem like I only knew them for 4 months. It's kind of cool.
Scott, you talked about this was sort of the warm-up yesterday, the Florida-based players there, but the big thing will be in August at Citizens Bank Park. But what do you remember about coming over to the Phillies organization? What did you know about them when you came over, and what do you remember about your first couple days there and how quickly they accepted you in?
My first day was pretty interesting. I flew in early. I got there really early, and I got there around 11:30, 12 o'clock, I think, and Chase was already there. He'd already hit a dozen balls, and he'd already hit a bucket of balls, and but no, I got my uniform, and I had to sit around and wait to go to if I remember right, I think I pitched in the very first game I was there for and got the win. And I only faced like one or two batters or something like that. I'd have to look it up. Like you said, it's been 10 years in my mind, but it doesn't seem like it. But the first couple of days was, I was only home for like 2 games, a Saturday night game, then a Sunday afternoon game. Then we left on a road trip, and road trips are, let's face it, excuse me, road trips are where you bond as a team, in my opinion, because everybody's together almost all the time for that entire trip. And at home, you go to your homes, you go to your houses in different areas of the cities and things like that, and you just see each other at the field. But on the road, man, you see each other at the mall walking around, in the hotel lobby, and everywhere else. So I think that was the easiest way for me to bond with everybody. And we had a tough road trip, if I remember right. We went down to L.A. and San Francisco, I think, and had a tough road trip. So it was fun.
Yeah, bullpens are always an interesting breed, too, trying to get in there and join in with those guys. I mean, I remember stories about the bullpen. It's like if you're going from San Francisco to L.A., you're going to take a limo together and kind of, rather than maybe go on the team, just different bonding experiences. Can you talk about that? I mean, yes, you want to bond with your teammates, but that getting in with just your bullpen mates, too, and the conversations that take place and the stuff that the fans don't see.
I think we are a little off kilter, most of us, in our thoughts in the bullpen. But we did take a limo actually from, I think it was from San Diego to LA or something like that. But it's a time you sit there and we have a few beers and eat some food. I think we got some kind of taco time or something like that. Ate a bunch of grub and talked. And it is, bullpen are like position players are the same. They all have everybody actually has their own little way they do things. There's certain times where they don't want to be bothered, or don't talk to me after this. And for me as a bullpen guy, and that bullpen was already good. I already knew that they were pretty good, and I knew they were pitching well actually when I got there. And it just takes a little time to learn everybody's nuances is the word I'm looking for. And that one, good Lord, with Madsen and Lidge, and Lidge was probably the most serious of all of us, but there's myself and Rudy Cienez, and I can't even think of everybody else that was down there. Durbin and Condrey. It was quite comical the first 3 or 4 innings of the game, especially if we were up by a few runs. And then it toned down a little bit as the game went on, and Mick Billmeyer kept us in line and told us when we were getting ready to go and do stuff.
Hey, we're talking with Scott Eyre, former Phillies pitcher from the '08 World Series champion. Now, you came over and went 5-0, so it wasn't like, you just had a bit part in this. They needed that lefty guy, J.C. Romero, was like the only guy, and then you kind of came in and became kind of a guy who, was pretty important to that run. But what was that playoff run? There were some wild games in that playoff run. The World Series, it gets split into 2 nights, and Stairs bomb that he hits out there into the night. I mean, there was some great night. There was some magic during that run.
There was some magic during the end of the postseason. To get some of the games we won down the stretch, some of the comebacks and some of the big hits we had down the stretch. I can't even tell you how many. It's too many to look at. It wasn't like we were beating everybody 10-0 every night. And there were some games where we were down, or a bullpen finally gave up a couple runs here or there, and all of a sudden Jimmy hits a 2-run homer, or Jenkins gets a double in the gap. Something. It was somebody different all the time. It seemed like when I got there, and that was the coolest part as a new player, to see the different. Like I said, just a different. I want to different people. Everybody was a different. I can't think of the word right now. I'm driving in traffic, so I don't want to kill myself. But,
don't do that.
Everybody, you know what I mean? The different personalities. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Everybody's different. Guys laughing, guys in there doing serious workouts. Well, in truthfulness, and I know it's cliche to say, but when the game started and they all got checked, all egos got checked, and everybody just played like it was their last game. And again, as a new player, after just a week of seeing that, I thought, oh my God, this is cool. This is where I want to be. Because it makes it feel like a family real quick, because everybody pulls for everybody on the field.
Yeah, and that team was, interesting because they had the organization had not had a lot of success. Then 2007, they go on that epic run just to get in, and I know you got there a little. You got there a little late, but after they got to the playoffs in 2007, when you got there, was the feeling of this is a World Series team?
When I got there in 2008?
Yeah, because if you keep that team, I think people were a little surprised that the 2008 team might not have been the most talented of the bunch. Like 9, 10, 11 were all probably had more talent, but that 2008 team ended up winning it. So when you got there, did you have the feeling that this is –
we had all the key components all the way down to, guys off the bench. Dauber getting hits off the bench, and God, I can't think of his name right now. So, Taguchi, I think he is a lost, forgotten guy.
Yep.
I mean, just playing here and there, but always seemed to be doing a good job when he was in there. So I think it was a matter of the 25 guys that started, plus the extra however many that, like myself and, the Matt Stairses and the Joe Blantons and all that got there late. I think all the credit should go to that front office and the scouts and, Mr. Gillick and all that stuff. And just and myself, for me, I think it was a blessing because, that means a scout saw me struggling in Chicago, but saw something good enough to say, hey, we need to go get this guy to help us down the postseason. So I'm forever grateful for that. So,
Scott, does it surprise you when you see that Chase Utley got another chance to be with the Dodgers and he's still going? I think the last guy of that group.
No, I don't. It doesn't surprise me in all honesty. Truthfully, no, it doesn't. The guy loves to play the game, and I don't think he'll stop playing the game until he feels like he can't do it to the best of his ability anymore. And that's something that, I got to retire after 2009, and I had enough time for my family to be young, enough for my family to be young enough so I could see them grow up and see my kids and stuff like that. And I wish I would have played longer some days, but I'm pretty happy with mine, and I'm pretty sure he's not happy with what he's done yet and wants to just continue to go. Plus, I think he just loves being out there every day, man. I miss it. Yeah,
you got, I guess you got Utley and Cole Hamels. That might be it. Oh, Jason Worth. Jason Worth is still.
But he's a free agent still, correct? Or did he go somewhere? I don't even know.
As Worth, he might be at that free agent camp. Aren't they doing the free agent camp in Bradenton?
It's right near. I'm actually right now. I'm just passing my high school right now because I got to go to Walgreens to get some seeds for the game.
Oh, boy.
IMG is like 10 minutes south of me right now. So yeah, they're all over there. And I just heard something yesterday. It's weird though that they don't want any scouts or any like media at these workouts at IMG. I don't understand why not.
Weird.
It doesn't make any sense to me.
What? Why are you thinking about going back? Are you thinking about going over there and trying out?
No, my BP throwing is very very good, but I don't know if I can get anybody out anymore.
Scott Eyre, by the way, Worth, yes, is a free agent, so that would mean that Cole Hamels and Chase Utley are the two guys that are left. You keep in touch with a lot of the 08 guys, or you were only there for such a short time that you didn't, or are there guys that still you still talk to?
What? The 08, we have a text thread. It's me, Madsen, Lidge, Durbin, Coast, Condry, and I think one more. There's, I think, 6 or 7 of us. And, Coasty's coaching up at Concordia, so whenever his team does something, somebody will post something about it. But, yeah, in that aspect, we stay. I don't talk to guys on the phone as much anymore, but
who does?
That text thread we have it's kind of fun, and it keeps us in a loop together. But, yeah, so we stay in touch with them a little bit.
Well, it's funny. I'm looking at the birthdays here, and I see you 72, and then I see Moyer 62. I mean, he was pretty crazy.
I haven't talked to Damien in a long time.
Man, great team, great memories, and Scott Eyre, by the way, is a high school coach in what? Bradenton, Florida now, right?
Yep, Bradenton, Florida. My head coach is actually Scott Sauerbeck. He had about 10 years of big league time. He's bouncing around, left-handed reliever, kind of similar as myself, and. Yeah. We have a good old time out here, man.
Well, that's good. Do you get up to Clearwater a lot, or is that just kind of like, hey, we're doing this, come on up?
That is Debbie Nacito calling me and saying we're having alumni day, come on up.
Cool.
No, I haven't been up there. I go for a Phillies fantasy camp every year.
Nice.
Which is like an unbelievable blast. It's so much fun. For me, I have a blast.
Well, it's a blast down there. Clearwater might be the best. Clearwater might be the best. Now, I've been to a bunch of them. Clearwater might be, to me, the best. I might be a little biased, too, but it's the best spring training home you could ask for.
I mean, I played in Dunedin. There's some new stadiums, though. I know the Yankees place is pretty nice, but it's over the top like everything else the Yankees do. So I like what is it called now?
Spectrum Field, yeah.
I just call Bright House.
Home. It's not. Nobody knows Spectrum Field. They just know Frenchie's Tiki Bar.
Right, home of Frenchie's.
Yeah, home of Frenchie's. Hey, that's all Brett and his big goatee kept talking about. Let's go to the Tiki Bar.
That sounds like Brett for sure. Hey, Scott, before we let you go, we saw you tweet about the Eagles too. You had to be understanding the city now the way that you do. You had to be excited to see Philadelphia football finally win that Lombardi Trophy.
I did. I'm a Broncos fan, so I was actually up there with the Phillies thing when the Phillies or with the Eagles. I mean, when the Eagles destroyed my Broncos, I was there. I got to watch that demolishing. It's fine. But yes, you know what? I was truly rooting for the Eagles this year because I understand as like my short time in Philadelphia, you understand the passion from the fans, and plus from my Phillies fantasy camp, I have a few the guys I coach that are good friends now. And they're diehards, except one's a Bronco fan, the other guy. But, Danny Farah, the big Eagle fan, I was texting him and tweeting him all day long, and it was a good time, man.
Well, Scott Eyre, it was a pleasure catching up, man.
We'll let you get those seeds.
When you get back up here in August, when you guys get the whole team out there, we'll have to catch up again, pal.
That'll be fun, yeah.
All right, everybody. Scott Eyre here on the Sports Bash Live on the Boardwalk Honda Hotline.